everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a Sunday, it's the 15th of September, it's Harry's 40th birthday. I thought I was going to have a quiet day, in fact a day of rest from doing these royal readings, but no, there have been two quite weird stories, even disturbing stories in the royal sphere. And the first is that the royals have publicly acknowledged Harry's birthday on social media. There was a lot of speculation about how they would handle this big milestone birthday, his 40th, whether they would acknowledge it, what they'd do. The King, Clarence House, put out a message on Twitter wishing the Duke of Sussex a happy 40th birthday, and there was a photo of Harry. This was retweeted later on this morning by Kensington Palace, minus the photo. Apparently, I haven't looked at the Kensington Palace tweet. Interesting things to note. They didn't address him by name. They just called him the Duke of Sussex. They were pretty impersonal messages. It was the same message that was just retweeted by Kensington Palace. Very impersonal, no mention of him by name. And interestingly, the photo was one taken in Ireland with Meghan, and they cut Meghan out. We're not going to look at that. That's just a little bit of ouch, possibly. So a lot of people are very concerned about this and thinking that this signals that the royals are getting ready to welcome Harry back. In my opinion, they are going to welcome him back at some stage, hopefully not as a working royal, but that's, that's family. It's almost inevitable. That's my personal belief. But what's going on with this message? People noted that the Kensington Palace version did not have William and Catherine's initials at the end of the message, which signified that it was just a staffer kind of posting this thing. It wasn't coming from them directly. That was the interpretation of that. So we're going to have a look at this. People are speculating that the royals did this because they're really caught between a rock and a hard place with this big birthday. If they didn't acknowledge it publicly, they'd be accused of being uncaring and cruel and hate-filled and all of that stuff. If they did acknowledge it in this very basic and impersonal way, they're doing what they need to do. They on the high road, basically, and people can get upset about it, as people are, but it really maybe doesn't mean that much, and they've signaled that in various ways. So we're going to have a look at this and just see what's going on, see how the King feels, how William and Catherine feel. Were they coerced into retweeting this thing, or what's the story, and how did Harry receive it, and should we be concerned? Is there something going on behind the scenes that might mean that the has-been is going to be installed in Windsor Castle and given all his titles and honours back, and all the stuff that people are very concerned about, given the way he has treated his family. And then the Nine of Wands, a Swords, shows up, expressing that concern. So that's what I'm looking at today. I'll explain the cards as I go along, as I always do. I need to remind you that this is just tarot, and it's for fun and entertainment, and it's all my opinion and all speculation, and of course it's just energy that I read here. And there is a disclaimer in the box below, and I think I've forgotten to tell you that I am using the Lunar Soul Tarot for the readings today. It's a Harry tarot. It's pretty woke. It's out there on your adventures, finding yourself kind of an energy in this. So that's the one that seemed to want to speak today. Let's see what it has to say. Harry's 40th birthday, and quite a difficult weekend, possibly, for Swords. And in case I forgot, there is the Lunar Soul Tarot. Can't remember my own name at this point. That's our underlying energy. Four of Swords, and it is the card of trouble, reputational harm, needing to heal, needing to go away and hide, that hike in the mountains. Apparently there's a terrible fire in those mountains. I don't know. I just caught people talking about it on social media. I hope not. And the poor animals, if it is, oh dear. But this is somebody he needs to hide away, and that might be the has-been. I nearly said the harridan. No, she wouldn't be hiding away. Did I say that? That just slipped right out. But there he is, not in a good state, and needing to reflect, needing to think, have a big long think. And there is all kinds of stuff going on, briefings and counter briefings and things. Must be quite confusing for somebody, the bear of very little brain. I think it's enough said about the Four of Swords as our underlying energy. It just sets the tone of the reading. We are reading on the fact that the royals said hello and happy birthday, but in a very cold way, the Magician, and it's in reverse. If somebody's trying to manifest something, somebody isn't really succeeding, and somebody might be trying quite hard to manifest, especially through his favourite royal reporters in the Daily Mail and the Times and Around and About, which we're going to look at next. But the Magician in reverse is somebody failing to manifest what they wanted. It's creator energy, it's PR energy. In reverse, it can be quite tricky PR, quite ill-intentioned even. But we're looking at the royals and the messages that they are sending. I think that they are sending a very direct message with this Magician in reverse. Don't dream about it. That's what's coming through for me. We'll check that because we're going to ask those questions in this reading. But that don't even think about it energy is coming through quite strongly in that Magician in reverse card. Don't play that game. We can play the game better than you, possibly, is what that Magician in reverse is about. So let's have a look. Royals, as I say, seem to be in a difficult situation. They had to acknowledge this. They do tend to acknowledge these big milestone birthdays, even for non-working royals. So they kind of had to do this. Let's just look at the situation that they found themselves in. What was the feeling, the situation that they were in? Hierophant in reverse, that's them, and that's them in a difficult position, particularly the king in a difficult position. In reverse, knowing, I think, that whatever they did, they were going to be criticized. They were going to be chastised. The Harry and Meghan supporters are going to say, oh, well, you sent him happy birthday, but you haven't sent anyone else happy birthday. They did wish Meghan a happy 40th birthday. Very much so. So they're just doing for Harry what they did for her, but there's lots of grumbles and lots of complaints. And on the other side, on the people who really are very upset about the way Harry has treated his family, the institution of the monarchy and the British people, they are saying, oh, well, you're being weak. You're opening the door to him coming back and getting what he wanted, the half in, half out. So they can't win. I think that is what the Hierophant is telling us, and they know that. I'm sure that their advisors mapped it all out, and they talked about it up at Balmoral when they were all up there. I'm sure that they had the strategy in place. They probably had a little fight about it. But it's the royal family being weakened. It's also... it's rules, the Hierophant, and in reverse, breaking rules, getting away with things is coming through a little bit in there as well. So Harry, of course, the wretch sitting here in the Four of Swords with the skateboards all hung up there, miserable, sorry for himself, hiding out on his birthday. The rule breaker, who has done his best to undermine the royal family, his very best. So, what's with the cold message? No name, no personal name, no personal signatures, no we love you and we miss you and all of that kind of stuff. The coldness of it, tell me about that. The Ace of Wands. And it's funny because it's a counter energy. The Ace of Wands would be passionate and normally would be very warm and very exuberant and demonstrative and passionate. That's the Ace of Wands. So it's absolutely not that. But in the circumstances, and this is quite strange, it's strange to articulate this, In the circumstances, it might be viewed as that. If you're drowning and you're offered this quite cold hand, you'll grab it. And you might see it for much more than it actually is. So I think that there's a little bit of a rescue message going on here, a little bit of a rescue energy, which is what people suspect might be going on. That the marriage might really be failing, the finances might be disastrous, the mental state might be disastrous here, the Four of Swords. And it might be, we can't be exuberant and passionate and oh, we love you and we miss you and come back. But it might be perceived as that. We're going to check how he's receiving it. There's fresh start, Ace of Wands, always aces are fresh starts. So I think people are right to be suspicious about this and to be reading energy into it that's not on the surface. People are getting quite smart to the Magician in reverse, which is being manipulated by PR and stuff like that. So we might be being manipulated. Just saying, Harry might be being manipulated. We might be being manipulated with this message as well, with that Magician card in reverse. Always be suspicious, I would say, when it comes to this kind of thing. Let's look at the King. His feelings, his mood, his energy around this. And I've got the Two of Discs in reverse. It's overwhelm. It's, oh, do I have to deal with this? I've got two sons. I've got to try and people please. I've got to keep all these energies going. Please everybody. Give time and energy to everybody and placate everybody. And I can't. I'm overwhelmed. I'm dropping the ball. I can't deal with it. He doesn't want to know about it. Good at doing the ostrich thing. I think that Two of Pentacles, Two of Discs is ostrich. Don't tell me about it. I don't know how to handle it. If I do this, then William's upset. If I don't do it, then Harry's upset. And whatever I do, I get criticized. Everyone piles on me. It's just awful. He's not happy. Let's put it like that. He's not happy. He's stretched. He's exhausted. He doesn't know how to manage the situation in a healthy way. And I think that's pretty Windsor. That they don't know how to handle these kind of family dramas in a healthy way. So let's just ignore it. Someone else can stick the message on social media and then I don't have, it's done. And don't tell me about it. Don't talk to me about it. What's his message to Harry with this? I've already said a message that's come through with the card. It's energy, of course, that I'm just reading. Speculating, of course. But what is his message to Harry with this? And what is the message to Harry with this? Wheel of Fortune. It's a very powerful message. It's cycles turn and change. And it can change for you. So there is a rescue. The hand is in the water reaching for the drowning. The drowning has been to pull him out. If he wants it, it's there. Very much. Your luck can turn. You can have better days, much better days. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is, it's a birthday message as well. It's Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter is birthdays. Celebrate. So he's really genuinely sending a message that I wish you the very, very best birthday that you can possibly have, darling boy. There is that. There's a little bit in here for me of stay over there. You can come back, but you're better over there, overseas. Jupiter again, overseas energy. And the first thing he did on the day that he became king was wish them well in their lives overseas. So we might be, I hope you're doing very well and everything is fabulous over there. Stay over there. There is that. So I realize that I've said two completely opposite things here, but we're dealing with someone who's trying to manage two completely opposite things and not able to. So I think that's why this kind of conflicted energy and message is coming through here. I think he's conflicted about what he actually wants. So, clear as mud. William, his mood, his feelings. Got the Empress. Two things. First of all, possibly motivated by his higher self, his good angel, his mother, memory of his mother. His mother would have wanted him to acknowledge Harry's birthday. So there's that, because the Empress is the mother. And I think mother is strong today. That somehow the burden of looking after Harry passed on to Prince William because of Diana's own troubled soul, her troubled life, and then her early death. And Harry became his problem, and he did kind of mother Harry. So I think that has come to the surface. So we've got some big and very positive cards here. And even though we hear constantly that Harry is dead to Prince William and he doesn't want to talk about him and he doesn't want to mention his name and all of that, it's really hard when it's family to hold by that sentiment. We've all been there with somebody who's the black sheep, or we haven't all been there, but I'm speculating that many of you watching this have been there with someone who's just been awful and really should be cut off and abandoned and left, and it's really hard to do that, especially on days like this, big birthdays, weddings, funerals, those kind of family moments when you're forced to contemplate the person that you don't want to think about. I think that's what's going on with William. Was he forced into putting this message out? At first, it followed priority rules. It did the right thing in a hierarchical order. King first, then Prince William and Catherine. Was he coerced into doing this, forced to do this, or did he do it of his own free will? I've got the 5 of Discs in reverse. That is coming in from the cold energy. It's the outcast, exile, ruin, and a banishment card, the 5 of Discs, when it's upright. In reverse, it's, well, okay, I will open the door a little chink to you. The door is being opened in here. It's being opened. Something going on. There's lots of briefing, as I said. The Duke of Westminster's sort of 2IC is involved, according to the Daily Mail, and all kinds of people are involved in guiding Harry back in. You know, I get the image of those things where someone's in a plane and the pilot passes out and someone has to fly the plane who's never flown a plane before, and air traffic control and getting involved, and somebody's trying to guide the plane in and tell them what to do. It's that kind of energy that's going on in this reading. Bit of an odd metaphor when you're dealing with a legend of aviation, but a legend in his own mind more than anywhere else, I suspect, and that's my personal opinion. There's a chink of a door open on this day. The door might slam right shut tomorrow, depending on what they do in Montecito. But for now, because the royals are gentle and compassionate souls, these particular royals, we have this energy in this reading. So let's see how it's been received in Montecito. The message by Harry in particular, how's it being received? Justice. Well, he thinks it's about time. They gave me my due. It's only right and proper that they did this. So he's getting all puffed up about it, and see how important I am, Megs. The newspapers are full of this birthday message that I got from the King and from William. William is bowing down before me. I'm getting a lot of ego coming through in this Justice card, but he thinks it's right and proper that they've done what they've done. So hopefully we're not going to get horrible briefing from him. We might from her, and I think we're already seeing it out and about today. But I think that he's pleased. His sense of self-importance is being reinforced with this message. He thinks he's got what is his due. Yeah, and he's very concerned about getting his fair share of everything, the sausage, the bedroom, half of the Duchy of Cornwall and all of that stuff. I'm being snarky, of course. Should we be alarmed? Is there something sinister going on? We do have the Magician in reverse here, but we have this rather pitiful creature here in the Four of Swords underpinning all of this, and I think that the royals are quite motivated by the pitiful nature of this Four of Swords energy. How worried should we be, or suspicious should we be? We've got the Sun And the sun is illumination, it's celebration, the sun doesn't hide things, put it that way. That is the card that would raise my suspicions. It did raise my suspicions. We might be being played at some level, but I think Harry is being warned as well. Don't mess with us. I do think that there's a don't mess with us energy in here, even though he's very pleased with himself right now. The sun, I think, is birthdays, celebration, genuinely okay, give you your moment, give you the attention. You can bask in this limelight that you're in today, which he certainly is doing. It's not sneaky energy. You can't hide things when the sun is out like that. And just because we are playing these mind games with the magician, and the magician is of course Mercury, so it's very much mind games. The sun is of course Megan. So if there is a message, it's to her rather than to us. See, you've got something that you can strut about and tell Oprah and tell everybody, oh, the king wished Harry a happy birthday on his 40th birthday. You can't complain about it. You can't go around and sneak around on social media and wind the bots up and everybody else, as people speculate that she does, talking about suspicions. So some quite interesting energy in here. I think that they are navigating a minefield at the moment, and a mind field with mind games. That's my lame pun for the day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.